ACCA's Sector and Communities Manager looking after the corporate SME sector. We're now into week 3 of Community Connect, and I really hope you've been enjoying the sessions so far and gaining a lot of insights into how you can help build your communities, connect with wider membership, and get involved with the many things ACCA have going on. Some housekeeping information for you all. So we'll start off with a panel interview and the rest of the time can be used for questions. Please remember to stay on mute when you're not speaking to avoid any background noise. As today's session is interactive, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to use the chat box or the raise your hand feature at the top of your screen, or indeed you can keep your questions until the Q&A portion at the end. In addition to this, there's also the option at the top of the screen to display reactions to express yourself throughout the session, so we would encourage you to also use that. On the theme of community, we'd like to encourage you to share your LinkedIn details in the chat box so that you can connect with each other and continue to build your networks. And before we go on to the panel interview, I'd like to give you a bit of background into the Link Up initiative itself. So throughout the pandemic, we were receiving feedback from members that even though they were happy with the CPD offerings being online, they were really missing that social aspect of the events that they used to attend in person. We looked for different ways to address that, and it was actually through a conversation with our colleagues in Australia that we learned about what they called Red Box. Now, that was a series of informal social get togethers organised by members for members, and this was very well received by the Australian membership. We took the same learnings from them and shaped them to create Link Up for members here in the UK. It's all the same principles, so they're member-led, they're social, informal and flexible. And we also kept the red box as a feature for members to be able to identify each other at the sessions. So I'm delighted to be joined by members of the Harrow panel who ran the very first UK session as part of the pilot back in March, and they're going to give their thoughts on how it went and worked for them. So with that in mind, I'd like to formally introduce you to some of our Harrow panel members that are able to join us today. So we have Krishna Dahal, who is the chair of our Harrow network. We also have Sailesh Shah. We have Geeta Vekaria and Svetla Taneva. So thank you all for joining me today. I'm really looking forward to the discussions that we're going to have. So we'll just kick off then. So first question, why did you as a panel decide to get involved in the Link Up initiative?
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Krishna Dahal. I'm a chair in the Harrow community panel. Once, because when we started our Harrow panel this year, basically when we become elected again for this year, then was in our first meeting we discussed about Link Up program, and everybody was so happy to so inquiring about the Link Up, and we gone through the process. In the second meeting we gone through the process, we checked in more detail. We also gone through the forms to fill and everything, and then we realized that we should do it. And we thought we need at least more people, not only 15 people, because there was a limit of 15 people. We want to do more, and we asked for the approval for 30 people, and we got approval as well. And that's the way we like to do it basically. And we want to focus mainly to, basically we are only 30 people. We want to only focus to those members who are very active and very passionate members in Harrow. Yeah, and we want to at least do some kind of networking. From last 2 years of COVID, many people could not join each other. That was our first meeting with the ACCA in Harrow, from long time. That was our actually initiative, and how we like to do it. That I think I think answers your question,
Thank you
Laura.
so much for
Yeah.
that, Krishna. That was really great.
Yeah.
And what was your process when it came to deciding on your venue and who you wanted to target as an audience?
Hello, my name is Sailesh Shah. Yeah, the process, Laura, we followed was as follows. we had to look at the following five factors. We had to keep these five factors in mind while choosing the venue. So I'll just run through the factors that we followed. The first one being the location. It was for us. I think it was very, very important that the venue was very easily accessible for all our members, so that they don't have an excuse not to turn up, or they don't delay, or it's easily accessible. In terms of the venue, this was actually just a 3-minute walk from the tube station or the bus station. We also ensured that there was ample parking available on site at the venue, so that members could just have a very stress-free evening and not worry about parking and all that. There was enough adequate parking. So that was the first, in our opinion, that was the first major factor we had to look at. The second factor, obviously, was the size of the venue. This was very important in terms that all the members could then freely mingle with each other, with the other members. But obviously, this being our first link up, obviously after the 2 years, 2.5 years of COVID, where everybody had just not ventured out, and again with ACC in mind, and we just wanted to have that aspect of social distancing as well. So for us, a larger venue in terms of the size was very important. So at the same time, we could observe some sort of social distancing between each other and between the different tables that we are sitting. And it was nice of the venue to give us almost less than half of the cafeteria just for us, because we had reserved part of the cafeteria for about 30 members. So that was the second was size. Number three, I felt personally that security was also a good factor to look at, in terms that members, whenever they are on the site at the venue, they should feel safe and secure, so that you could stay as long as you wanted to, and not say, okay, I'll stay for half an hour and just disappear. So in fact, our turnout, as we already informed quite a few people, is that most of the members stayed almost up to the end of the event. The fourth one, obviously, we wanted to have we wanted to have members have a very good atmosphere at the venue. So a very good ambience would be very welcoming for the members, so they could actually even enjoy themselves while talking to each other. So that was one of the other factors. Last but not the least, obviously, we ensured that the cafeteria could provide a reasonably good variety of drinks and snacks as well, so members could feel comfortable and more relaxed. Now, in terms of the target, again, I think Krishna has mentioned briefly there, we really wanted to target our very, very loyal supporters who have been supporting us throughout the last few years for our CPD events. And we wanted to target as many ACCA Harrow members as possible, again, with the limitation of the 30 bearing in mind. But yes, our focus was on the loyal supporters who have been really supporting us all throughout. So I think that was our process for looking at the venue, plus in terms of our target members.
Fantastic. Thank you for that rundown there, Silesh. And just in case anyone on the call isn't aware, can you just remind us of which venue it was that you chose?
Oh yes, it was actually called the Brew Coffee House in Harrow. It was actually based inside the Harrow's St. George's Center. So it's a very big center. It's a shopping center, and it's again on the ground floor. So very convenient location. Yeah.
That's great. Thank
The,
you so much. And it's great to see the amount of thought that went into different aspects when you were selecting a venue. So obviously you were trying to make that as accessible and as great an option for a lot of your loyal members. As you say, you're a very, very interactive panel down there in Harrow. So great to see that you're able to keep going with what they're looking for. So the next question I suppose I would have for you all is, how did you find the official process? So from the point of submitting your registration to actually hosting the night, and were there any challenges that could have gone better for you? So I'll open that up to the panel just now.
Hi, I'd like to answer that question. Yeah. Basically, the submitting the process was fairly easy and straightforward. We just fill up the form in the Link Up program. And as a chair, I filled up the form, and we put all the details of the venue and the members and our budget and everything. And it was, I think, uh, 2 page form. It was not that long time. It will take maybe 5-10 minutes. That's it. And then after that, because we already decided those things in our meeting, that was so easy for me to put all these details in the in the form. After that, once I filled out that form, I immediately advised Laura that we have filled out the form. If you kindly process it as soon as possible by email. And I think Laura did very quickly as well, and we got the approval very quickly. And once we get the approval, then we are very confident that we got the approval. We got a budget now, and then we already have a place booked for ourselves. And we confirm with the because Silas confirmed with the brew cafe in the and then what happens after that is like we have to just do some logistic of like we need to get that red box, and we need to to show some like ACCA posters here and there to show the people's coming. They can see us and where we are where we are in the cafe, and in the entrance at the end where we are sitting. And that's why quite a big space there, and that's why we can accommodate quite a number of people in the evening. And another big challenge we feel was basically it went full within 2 hours of opening. Yeah. And and then many of ACCA members which we know, they contacted us and tell us like, we want to come to your Link Up program, and but it's already full, we can't do anything for them, that was kind of disappointment for us, for everybody, because many of our friends, they spoke to me, they sent the message to me, we want to join, but we're very sorry for that, we could not allow them to come in because of the limitation. And that was quite a bit of challenge for us. Rest of things gone very well, and we had a very good communication with all the panel member. We stayed there for a long time, and we have around around about the discussion in all areas of our experience, our kind of from from the beginning SSA journey to the end, and we have a lot of discussions. We have a very good network, and it gives a kind of momentum from long time. We hadn't met our own members from long time. That was a very good event, and we very successful event, and everybody were very happy at the end, and that's the thing. And there was no much other than that, there was no much any difficulties. It went very well, and very satisfied with all the. And we got a feedback form as well. We printed the feedback forms ourselves in case if they do not fill up online, and we printed them, we give it to them, and everybody filled up the feedback forms, and we put that in a red box. Basically, red box was meant to put that feedbacks, and we get it done from everybody, and we also send that to our ACCA. That's the process. It was so straightforward and easy. We thought it was not very difficult. Thank you. Thank you.
Great to see that you were using the red box in a multifunctional purpose there with
Yeah.
the feedback. Certainly when the feedback did come through to us, we were not surprised at how good the feedback was, but it was so lovely to see the comments, especially aimed towards the panel, and what a good job you did as a panel in organising the Link Up session. So was very, very happy to see that you were getting the credit for that. So can you share any successes or any key insights from the night itself? Obviously, you mentioned that you were speaking with members about a whole aspect of areas and about the journeys through ACCA. So is there any key insights that you can think of from the night itself, from those discussions?
Hello, Laura. I think I can answer that one. Okay, in terms of the key successes, first of all, I think we as a panel, we felt that, look, we were the first, the Harrow panel was the first panel to hold the ACCA Link Up. So that was a big success. on its own for the link up and of course for ACC as well, because after 2.5 years of lockdown, this was the first time when people actually came out of the bubbles and started socializing. So that was the biggest one of the big successes. In terms of probably other successes which we noticed is that the members really, honestly, they really enjoyed socializing with other members, and they just felt so much at ease, and they felt that, look, this is really such a big difference rather than doing all the Zoom calls they've been doing in the past 2 years, and they were even sensing their their happiness that, look, this is really what it's all about, honestly, meeting different people, meeting other members, discussing their lives, discussing their social lives and all that. And again, the other thing is that a lot of the elder members discussed about their careers with the new members. There were a few new members who had come there as well. So there was an opportunity for the elder members to share their careers, how they've been growing their careers from where they were to where they are now, and this will really encourage the new members. Of course, the other members also shared a lot of their success stories as well to the new members. So this will really encourage all the new members, and eventually this will promote our ACCA branch so much, because the new members will now start talking about the same thing to the other colleagues and whatever. So our ultimate objective as the ACC obviously is to promote the ACCA brand, which I felt that we have successfully managed, at least a small part of it. Obviously, the whole thing was not towards that. The basic thing we were still keeping in mind is the link up, and everybody should enjoy themselves. And again, I think as Krishna has touched, and of course, Laura, you have touched very well on the good feedback that you have all received. So I think bearing in mind the good feedback that we have received on the forums, and again, verbally, everybody mentioning that, look, this is a fantastic event, and they were really happy about the event, getting together and sharing all the stories. So I think that in itself, we felt was a very big success, because everybody wrote in a very good word at the end. So that was again a very big success. So overall, yeah, 3 or 4 points which made this event a success. And we again are looking, as Krishna said, we are looking for future link ups again to continue, and let this all continue. And slowly, never know, after 1 year we might hold a slightly bigger link up on a sports field or for a walk or anything. That's our challenge. Maybe for the next year, have a big walk, for invite about 200 members, and you never know. So we'll invite you as well, and the president as well. Thank you very much.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Silesh. Have we got any other comments from Gita or Svetla at all on that one? Any successes that you felt from the night too, or do you echo what Silesh has mentioned already?
I think the opportunity for members to interact themselves was a success, as has been mentioned, for 2 years during pandemic, and people to meet and open up and exchange ideas and experience and contacts, because this profession nowadays relies on a lot of sharing experience, especially when there come new systems, digitalization, and it's usually easier to ask somebody in your area what experience that they've got with the system or process, rather than just to be on your own. So when the event was shared, there are lots of connections has been made through LinkedIn with some members. We exchanged phone numbers and WhatsApp chats. So it's an opportunity really to get connected and keep that connection. Members exchange the thoughts that they would like to have more face-to-face events. Maybe some of them to be more technical focused, rather than just interaction. So that was put in the feedback forms. So we'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much, Vetla, and that ties in really nicely to my next question, around have you made any new connections since the session? So obviously you're saying there that you've had a
Yeah.
lot through.
I think all of the members who attended had that pleasure to just sit around and had friendly chat and to exchange their careers, what their industry they work, and whether they're in practice, and the challenges that they face. So it was quite good.
Excellent. Can anyone else feed in on that question as well about any new connections?
Hi, yeah, it's Geeta here. Hi.
Hi, Geeta.
So I felt hello, hi. I felt the members were really appreciative, you know, of the gathering, and they wanted us to create a sort of a WhatsApp group, you know, to connect and sort of be involved and sort of have a community so we can sort of, you know, reach out and discuss any areas of accounting or social aspects, and really to just stay in touch. But yeah, we weren't sure of the coordination of this, so we did think it was a great idea, but we weren't sure how, you know, how we would be able to sort of keep that going and sort of inspire that initially. And we thought we'll just think on it and then sort of before we confirm anything to the members.
Course, because as I think was brought up before from the panel, there are limitations to how many people can join WhatsApp groups and things. So that's
Yeah,
definitely something to look at going forward as a panel. I know obviously we don't have the full panel on the call today, but I think some of the feedback we had as well was that some people were even getting CVs. Is that right? On the night, people were making those business connections too on the day.
yeah, I heard that was the case, and a lot of people were really keen on the next event, which we just said that, you know, sort of watch this space, as you know, we can't confirm yet, but you know, people really wanted to know when the next event would be and what's the plan really, but at that stage nothing was concrete, so we couldn't confirm back. But we did say, you know, we hope that, you know, there will be more of these events that they can attend and feel sort of, you know, the ACCA sort of panel that can host these.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. And do you think that the session has made a difference in terms of a sense of the ACCA community in Harrow? Obviously, you've got a very rich membership there anyway, but with the fact that you have a lot of new members there and you made some new connections, do you feel that that's made a difference now hosting the session?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know, with this event there was some more younger people, and obviously they would have been new into ACCA, so you know, it was nice to have them there as well, so they can see what, you know, ACCA is about, and to feel, you know, they are also can discuss things with us and are contributing, you know, as well as usually on the technical stuff, we get more of the elderly community that comes. So yeah, it was nice to have more of a variety.
Perfect. Anyone else want to join in on that? We okay?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
No problem. And so I suppose the last official question from me before we open it up to attendees is how are you staying connected with those who attended and what are your future plans for keeping the community active and engaged? So do you have any ideas on what you want to do next?
Yes, actually, we discussed that in our committee meeting, and we also discussed that with the panel, with the members when we meet last time in the link up. Mainly, many Harrow members, they want to have a kind of regular meeting, regular kind of networking. Even they likes to do some CPD events, and we like to engage more and more, you know, and because it's a very populated area, the ACCA, and many practicing members are also there. They have the good demands, like they used to have. And it's a very demanding area of the ACCA, and that's why we like to also meet their expectation. And basically what we plan for this year, probably we'll do some events with the help of like some of the CPD providers. We can approach them and get some kind of sponsors from them as well, and do some kind of program for a large scale, like maybe 200 members, 300 members, because there are a lot of interest in that area, and it's easily filled up. And again, we want to do for like any bank or any institutions which that we can go jointly with them and do the networking. We did a similar events before as well with the Barclays Bank, and we also like to do some kind of sport events sometimes, like a park run or marathons or 2K run, something like that, for the ACCA Harrow. And maybe this is a part of the Link Up program. We can just we can ask so many members there, because there is no limitation there. We can maybe there maybe if we properly do it, probably 500 or 1,000 people can join for like a walk or run, something like that, with a with a very little with very little expenses as well. We don't have to spend too much for that. And in that way we can link up with the many members, and we can got a good networking. And that's basically branding and just connections and networking. That's our objective. And we want to be connected with more and more members, and also kind of should be the kind of mentoring for by experienced and senior members to junior members, what we have experienced recently in this link up as well. There are a few new members have joined. They're very motivated with the experience we have shared, with the experience story we shared. It was quite interesting, and many people like to go out right now. They don't want to stay in the Zoom, and they want to come out. That in that way we'll probably give a kind of a good place for them to we want to provide a good opportunity for them to go out and in open space, and give a kind of large scale members. They can come in the event, and they can meet each other so easily, so frankly, with the fresh air. That is our objective again, and accordingly we can do some more events like we have done in the past. With the we can do more events with the associating with the universities, which we can mentor more, because we have to think for the new members as well coming as a students. We have to also give a kind of motivational kind of experience sharing, storytelling, to bring them as a ACCA members, to recruit the new ACCA members, to bring them as students. That is our also next plan. We just definitely are keen to do all these events. How much we can do this year, we'll see. Definitely we'll do 2 to 3 events, definitely. And let's see, and that is our minimum target for this year. And that's how we have planned. uh, we have discussed in the meeting, and we have also planned few meetings, but definitely we'll do few in this summer. And I think that's all. If anybody wants to add anything, Swelta, do you have any things?
No, if any of the attendees have any questions, happy to answer.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that, Krishna. It's a good way to round it off in terms of the official part there. Nice to see that you've got some big ambitions and big plans for how you're going to get the community together.
Yeah.
And obviously you utilize the link up format for that,
Yeah.
which will obviously go nicely hand in hand with the online CPD things that we have going on. So we've actually got a question from Astrid. So she'd like to ask the panel, if another panel or network community were thinking of running a Link Up event, what advice would you give them to encourage them to convert the idea into a reality? It's a great question, Astrid.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's very straightforward. You can just fill up the form and get approval from ACCA. That's the first part. And before that, you have to find the venue. You have to find the location. Like Silas said, he has gone through quite detail how he selected the venue, because we selected venue, but he was involved quite long in the process in the selection and organizing the event, organizing the venue. That was his part, and he did very well in terms of finding the venue, location, and timing, and also the many things, many factors you have to take into account to find the venue. And once you find the venue, you have to see the very low budget as well. You don't want to spend quite a lot of time money in the event. It's very limited budget. And you also need to see, and then you have to just get approval from ACCA. Once you get approval, there are not much things. We can just put some ACCA posters to see that we are here, and we did that ourselves. And after that, there and you can just organize the meeting. And basically, whoever like the events organizing, all the members should be very engaging. Try to speak with many members as much as you possible, and try to engage them much more, and get a good atmosphere, good environment for them to start the conversation. And you just need to be more proactive there in the site, to become more engaging, more welcoming to the members. I think that's, and you, if you push, if it's possible, you can, I think, if you get a because we had a limit, we thought this we are not doing more, but if you can do, you can do more members as well. But you have to see the venue size as well, and you have to see the how many members in the area, because in our area there's so much of ACCA members. They are quite a lot demanding, and lot more the population, quite a lot of population in ACCA in Harrow. But it depends upon the expectation. You can judge the number of members, how much you want to, how many members you want to invite. These are all the things you have to take into consideration. If you need any kind of help from our side, I'm very happy to share my experience. And if you can even link me in the LinkedIn, or you can ask me any questions in the LinkedIn, and I can just give my email and my LinkedIn as well in here in the message. You can come back to us, and you can ask um, any questions. Okay, we're happy to help you.
Thank you so much for that, Krishna. Does anyone else have any comments to add to that for advice?
I just would like to add to Krishna comments that when you organize Link Up, you need to think of the members' perspective in terms of attendance, place to be easy accessible for all the attenders, the time to be convenient for them. So if it's after work, for enough time for them to travel, if it's in central London. What we've noticed is the majority of our attenders were Harrow residents, and you might be aware that Harrow is an area where a lot of practices and ACCA professionals, whether they work or they live. So that's probably was the reason for the good attendance. But when you think organizing the time, the place, the day needs to be convenient, in general.
Thank you so much for that. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Thank you so much to Amanda for also sharing some of the photos that were taken on the night. I think it really helps to capture the mood of the night, and the fact that people were really enjoying themselves at the venue there. If you've got any questions, feel free to either come off mute, put your hand up, put it into the chat box. Just give people a minute or two to think of something. Oh, we've got Astrid again. Astrid.
Yeah, no, thanks for the other opportunity. I just wanted to say thank you very much to the panel for a fantastic presentation. And I think the message that I've taken from this is a couple of things. First of all, it's been greatly appreciated by the members. And secondly, been extremely well considered and therefore very well attended. And last but by no means least, it sounds as if the clear message is, have a go. If the members are interested in doing this, if you as a panel or a network community want to bring members together in the real world, we've got this infrastructure for people to do it. So it sounds, and looking at the photos, it sounds like everyone had a great time. So thank you so much to the panel for their insight.
Thank you, Astrid. I think we all echo that. Definitely, the panel have been absolutely fantastic and just taking this initiative and running with it, and obviously being so keen to keep going with it as well. Obviously, Krishna mentioned that one of the challenges they had was that it sold out so quickly. So we would obviously be looking to encourage that to repeat itself in Harrow, perhaps go for a different activity, anything. The world is your oyster. You've done so well with it. So if we don't have any other questions, Amanda's just showing the Link Up Hub on screen at the moment, and we've got the link to that coming into the chat box too. So if anyone does want to get involved, do refer to the host guide and the resources that are on the website. And I suppose all that's left for me is to say thank you so much to the Harrow panel and joining me today and sharing your valuable feedback and your insights on the initiative. And a big thank you to everyone who has attended today. I hope it has inspired you to perhaps look at hosting your own link up, either as a panel or even as an individual member. And remember that this was devised to give members the power to strengthen their local ACCA communities. So you are all at the heart of that. So hopefully we will see a few ideas come through from people looking to host their own in their local areas. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving
Thank
us
you.
opportunity to present our
Okay,
comments.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll speak to you all soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 I still got a lot. Oh.